We don't have any live feed to you in the studio?
Yes.
Any what?
We don't have any live feed to you in the studio?
Like what?
Is this Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis is back.
In case we have to ask you something, Lewis, from back there, some research or anything, can we talk to you?
Not separately.
Okay.
It's going to go in the air. If you need something, I can text him.
Are you going to sit here the whole time?
Yeah, I'll be next to you the whole time.
Because
unless you get another comic.
guess.
Yeah,
yeah,
get another
okay.
comic. Yes.
All right.
And then at 12:30, Mark's leaving, and I'll be back there.
Who? This guy? Why is he leaving?
Because he's got another show to do.
It's almost 12 o'clock.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, guys.
2:30 seconds.
She's actually like, it's crazy. Like she went to, I told her to go to any camp she wanted this summer. She picked the robotics camp at Princeton University. Yeah, like she's.
Who's Hay?
Loves coding and.
Who the fuck is this?
Well, Rich and I are like, she comes ask for coding books.
Oh, that's
idiots. Come on.
Some girl.
The producer, our Canadian producer.
Okay.
She's so good. She knows everything. Like, she's like Bonnie's encyclopedia. It's fucking like Bonnie was doing some show and brought up another comic, and she told Bonnie what that comic did to Bonnie that upset Bonnie or whatever.
Wow.
She's like an encyclopedia.
Good.
I'm telling you, hire her for serious.
Yes, because that'd be a hell of a commute to New York, wouldn't it?
They got so much money. They have a place in New York, I think. One of their relatives passed.
Minute 30, guys. Minute 30.
I think it was worth like $1 billion.
Wow. Oh, my God.
But
130 out.
or I would say 130 in.
And
Do you like my voice?
this is going to fuck up my hair.
1 minute left, guys.
Who was it? We did a Canadian radio yesterday.
Yeah, that was nice, but they were talking about some heavy shit.
That was like a real show, though. What?
She really hates him, it's really true. Why did she marry this jackass Jew? Some people say that opposites attract, but this seems more like a suicide pact. He's totally sober, she's not that drunk. He's really old and she's got some spunk. He's totally holy as an asinine bomb, and she's just a little less dumb. She really hates him, it's really true. But somewhere deep down, she loves him too.
Welcome.
God, I forgot.
No joking.
I forgot the backstory of that joke.
Welcome to the Resentment Show. We have it's Bonnie, and look who just walked up too. We have
Ronnie.
we are live. We are live here in Montreal, doing.
It's the JFL
from
Montreal
from
Comedy
the Montreal
Festival.
Comedy Festival. Every comic in the world is here. Ron Bennington's walking by.
He won't sit down. He won't say hello.
That's all right. I think you're on the air, aren't you? Yeah, we're on the air. So, our first two guests that we could never get in New York. Mad Dog is doing all the warm-ups for the Kevin Hart.
I don't think he knows your real name. Do you think that's
Oh,
what's
you don't
happening
go by
here?
Mad Dog anymore, do
No,
you?
just 2.5 years. It's okay. It's
what are
still
you
a big
going-
window.
He's completely
I'm gonna give
reinvented
everyone
himself.
I'm gonna give everyone a decade, and then it's going to be official.
What are you going for now?
I'm going for life. That's
Your
what
Christian
I'm
name.
going for. James Mattern.
So, James Mad Dog Mad Turn.
Man turn.
Wait, say it again.
What I love is, like, of all my ethnicities, like, that's probably the easiest thing, and that's the word that no one could do, like Mattern. Like, it could be super Italian or
Right.
super Jewish, and it's just it's
Mattern.
German.
Mattern.
It's Matterhorn, basically.
Mattern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
yeah. Thank you, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
And everyone butchers it up. What is it, Matin? Madden? Like, what? Where is it Madden?
I would
Crazy
love to talk
person.
more about your name and the pronunciations, but we've got another guest to introduce.
You can't pronounce this
Do you
name.
know how to say his last
Yes, Mike DiStefano.
Right, Chris DiStefano, but it's close. So let's just add an O. I get called Mike DiStefano still like once or two.
Oh, my God.
It's happening less
name? Someone
and less.
asked me last night if you guys were related.
I know. Well, that's always, yeah.
I said, you started when he died.
Do you know?
I'm the new light.
I remember Chris when we were doing. I don't know. We were doing Caroline's headlining. We had a show at and he was in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And you said, what a great guy he is. And
not behind his back.
Yeah.
No, I think
like in front of him.
In front of him, which is code for you're not funny. When you're like, oh, you're a nice guy.
No, but he always was a nice guy. And obviously, whatever his name is
James Mattern
is probably the nicest guy in comedy.
Yes, he is.
Your CD could be like, it doesn't matter.
There you go.
How about Nothing Else Mattered?
Oh, you've thought it through.
Ooh, a little Metallica song.
Now, what do you call both? But if you get time, you're going to come back? Oh. You want to just say hi real quick?
Just say hi. I love these guys. I think everything's going good. They're all great. I think tomorrow the fucking Bills are going to win this thing. It's going to finally happen because it's Super Bowl weekend.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Fucking the great Ron Bennington,
Ron
folks.
Bennington.
Legend.
You can't get any quicker and funnier than him except me.
Yeah.
He's
except me.
You've done that show.
Yeah, it's very fast.
He's so quick.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over a couple shows so far. What's going on? Obviously, you guys are doing shows here. Mm-hmm. You're doing LOL. Kevin Hart. You're doing.
I hate the name of that. I won't even say it out loud.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to say I'm doing LOL.
Yeah. Well,
I just say the Kevin Hart thing.
Yeah.
Well, I add the live to it, and it sounds better to me.
Oh, LOL live. Yeah, you're right.
Then
you're
it
right.
sounds better. It sounds a little more important. But there's also a club in New York that LOL is like purgatory at best, and so that's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. I've never stepped foot in that.
Well, and the thing is,
because you have standards, Bonnie. Let's be honest.
I like.
Really?
I like.
As soon as you said it, I pointed. Right.
So,
I like New York Comedy Club best out of all the comedy clubs in New York City.
But
I mean, the Stand also. I just saw Chris walk by.
But here's the thing: you were brought up here to do the warm-ups.
Yeah.
Which is hard as fuck to warm up those audiences because they're not. They're kind of bark, those audiences there, right? Kind of, or some are coming to see something. Kevin are there, something.
Did
whatever.
you say barked?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if people know what that means.
It means there's
ugly.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
What would be another word for barked? Or they're
papered, flyered in.
Yeah,
like
they're flyered.
They're giving free tickets to the show.
Yeah, because there's so many shows in town, and Kevin's taping, every night of the week.
12 shows.
Yeah, so it's so hard to get that many people when there's a million shows going on. So you're doing a warm up, which is tough as fuck on a show like that. You got to come out, but then on a bonus, they said to you, "Hey, can you do a set?" So they threw you a set too, right?
Yeah.
Threw you, or you made it sound like.
Well, yeah, no, but it was crazy
such
though.
a favor.
It's in the middle of the show, so like after
nobody wanted you on it, but we decided.
6 people got flu, and
wait, so you warmed up the show that you did a spot on?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Weird. That's
weird. Hard.
And so I'm sitting in that little cubby hole they got me, and I'm just keep thinking about how am I going to make this happen and not look corny.
Yes.
Right.
How do you introduce yourself?
Right.
It's hard.
And how did you?
Yeah. I was like, okay, look, like I was like.
Mad Dog, Mad Dog introduced James. Is that how you did it?
Aliases.
You
had
a
hat and all that. Yeah. I just basically look. I'm like, you guys are down with me, right? Yeah. I'm like, this is gonna be weird. I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm gonna come out. You're gonna pretend I'm your favorite comic.
And you did it.
Boom.
Boom.
And it was fun. But then I feel like they liked me so much from warm up and got along with me that they were over laughing at my jokes. So you know how we get so a minute into my set, I'm like, yeah, this is phony. I don't really deserve this. I'll muscle through.
It's very comedian of you.
Of course it is.
And agreed on this side of the table.
Of course.
And you got a million things going on.
Yeah.
What shows are you doing up here?
I like that you got throwing a bone, and then he's like, "You've got so much going
I'm happy
on."
to take the bone. I'm happy to take the bone.
Listen, I didn't mean it like that. Listen, this guy,
Listen, you're barely here at the festival now. You're a fantastic looking guy. Nice.
No, I have tonight. I'm opening up for Brad Williams. You do his show.
Oh, cool.
Then I'm hosting a best show.
When you do the Brad show, do you do like the side stuff, like the swords and
What are you talking about? Oh, because you're Brad is a little person, so you're making some kind of carnival show.
Yeah.
I'm the tosser.
Yeah, I come out juggling on a unicycle.
Yeah.
And then do my bits. No, but that's it. And then I'm going home tomorrow. So I did the LOL taping here.
LOL Live.
LOL Live.
LOL Live.
I warmed up the roast battles the last night, but now I'm not warming it up tonight because I sucked so bad last night, so they just canceled.
Paul F.
warm-up.
Tompkins.
Yes.
Sit down. He won't.
All right.
Try to get people in.
He's going to some alternative meeting.
If you guys are talking and someone more important walks by, I will shut you down.
I'm used to it.
No
Yeah.
order to
Oh, our producer? No. So,
I mean, this is just like my childhood, so it's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
but why are you leaving the date? Saturday is the big closeout party and all that.
Because
shit.
my stepson's birthday is on Sunday, so I have to go home for that.
Our daughter's birthday Sunday.
And we're just driving home.
We're driving home. But on the way home.
We don't care about her.
On the way home, we're stopping and getting her a puppy.
Oh, that's nice.
She doesn't know it.
That's good.
Yeah, so.
A puppy.
She hates
That's a good
dogs.
Really?
It's dead and stuffed.
She's afraid
but
of
yeah.
dogs.
no, we're getting her a puppy on the way home.
That's
and
nice.
It's going to be the best birthday of her life.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to just seeing the excitement. I love seeing the excitement in the kids, in
Me
the little
too.
kid's face.
Me too.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I like
I
seeing
see
pain.
It's like, for me, it's interesting because
Who would, like, that's the thing that Rich will say these platitudes all the time. It's like, I enjoy the feeling of happiness. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, everyone does.
Everyone
it's
does.
fine, you know.
You know,
It's
being like-
Well, my kid though.
I love seeing a kid smile. I don't like it. I hate
yeah.
it.
But you know what? I have a stepson and a daughter, and like my daughter, when I leave, it's like my daughter is like so sad and crying, and my stepson's like excited. He's like, "Get the fuck out!" I'm like, "Dude, shut up."
Well, my first wife, I had a step kid.
Yeah.
Which was great because that way I didn't have to hit my kids.
Right.
You know, like if my kids would break something, I'd smack him and go, "You better teach your sisters how to hold on to shit."
Oh,
But
yeah.
see, he when you divorced your the love of your life,
My first wife,
Kelly,
yes.
that's it for the son. You were like, I'm done with him.
Well, he's got his
completely
real.
washed
He's
his
got
hands.
his real dad.
See, that's the thing with me. He's got his real dad. Or if there was no real, if the dad was gone, then there's
Yeah,
a different
it's
relationship.
different.
But it's like, how close can I really get to this kid? I'm not his real
Yeah,
dad,
I'm
and
not
then
his
it's
real dad.
weird if I'm get too close. You know?
It's tough, and you like, and then you have your kid,
Right.
you know, and like I have 3 kids, and I love
You
them.
do?
I love them.
If I just
Wow.
found that out.
Oh God,
What?
well, that bit hasn't been done. So,
Oh my God! I'm going to bring up what happened. I was we went to the drugstore yesterday here at the whatever
In the mall.
and he goes. I'm looking at makeup, and I can hear him in the other aisle saying to this French woman that works there. He's going, jock itch. She's not saying anything. I don't know what's going on. He said it 20 times in a row. It's like, and he has a hard time saying the words, so he kept going like, jock itch.
Well, I was trying to
And then you
be
have to
French.
swallow a bunch of like saliva. Jock itch. Jock itch.
Were you actually looking for jockets, or
Yes.
are you trying to speak like the
Yeah.
language?
And I
No,
was pointing
he
to
just he didn't know how to like explain it further than what he was doing, so he just kept doing it.
And what happened?
Jock-itch.
I was
did it
pointing
end?
to my
Jock
balls,
itch.
and I was pointing to my balls, and she said
Jock itch.
she didn't know.
Jock.
They
And then
didn't-
I'd hear a swallow. Jock itch.
Ugh.
Like that was going to help her understand it. Jock itch.
So, anyhow,
Itch.
I had a can of itch when I came up here.
Jock itch.
Yeah.
And I went to put the top on somehow, and it slipped and knocked the whole spray thing off and broke.
Oh.
I have a half a can of jock itch that I can't get to.
So what are you
'Cause I
gonna do?
broke. I'm going to try to get some new itch.
And
Yeah.
also,
You know, because-
can I just
and,
also bring this up because I feel like it's on the same line of questioning. If you've used jock itch, and I don't know if you ever have, and you don't
Sure.
have to say if you
In the
have or not.
summer.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't
in the
you
summer.
go wash it off before you made your girlfriend or your wife blow you?
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
no.
Yeah, because-
Definitely not. No.
Because I've been like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Wife, yes. Like a random
Jockage?
girl. Like
Yeah.
if I was just going out, fair game.
Yeah.
And it makes
Yeah.
for a better story. It's like, oh, she blew you last night? Yeah. And I had jocket cream on. Touchdown. I made it. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. She's probably in the hospital right now.
That's the game, baby.
Listen, look at.
I gave that bitch a tummy ache.
We need simple things to brag about in life, all right?
I bet you she's shitting blood.
You know,
Yeah. I never got to play in the NFL, but I've had that done a couple times.
you know, she thinks the warts were speed bumps for her lips. But,
Come on,
What?
really?
no, but you know,
everybody's
listen,
got warts.
I got when I get
What?
No, I don't-
Come on, everybody's got a wart or two.
If you're over 25 and you don't have 7 strains of HPV, you haven't been tried.
You haven't been
That's
tried.
a break,
my
is it?
dick is like Braille. So, what do you call? But you spray it like not the cream is the best when you can
Yeah.
find the good cream, not the expensive cream, the bigger pack cream that's cheaper but good. You know, the no frills.
Jockich.
Did you know it was me?
Jockich. Yes, I knew it was you. Are you crazy? Oh, Mary Lynn, come sit down. Mary Lynn Rice Cup showed up.
All right.
Mary Lynn and I sat
Hi.
together last night at the
We saw
roast
that.
battle.
Right.
Hot bitches in the back there.
She's making me laugh.
You guys look
Very
great
funny.
on camera. Both I'm watching
Yeah.
on camera, and
They
I'm,
came and put makeup on us. But not. They didn't deal with the guys, and then it felt like they were like having a meeting in the back. Like we gotta do something.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
you guys were hotties in the back.
I got a breast enhancement really quick while I was
Yes.
sitting there.
I saw
don't know if you
that.
guys, it was magical. I don't even know if you saw that. She reached under. and
I just knew at one point you looked better.
Yeah,
You know, I just
yeah.
looked over and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
when,
Awesome.
You
when-
wanted me all of a sudden.
when I was on, I was there the night before.
Yes,
so I
me
sat
too.
in the seats behind the judges too. So I was right behind Kevin Hart, and JB Smoove was behind David Spade. So I guess they were getting too many shots of me behind Kevin. So I kept going to Kevin a lot.
Yeah.
So during the first commercial, they said, we want you and JB to switch seats because he's more famous than me, and they wanted more shots of JB.
Sure.
So they moved me over, and I'm glad that people that watch TV don't get the fact and don't realize that, hey, they just moved you down a notch. Just
Right.
Well, they did keep doing that, like moving people around,
Yeah.
and then they'd go, because of lighting and stuff.
Well,
and-
Ben was sitting behind us, Ben Glebe, and
Yes.
I just turned around at one point and he was gone. Like,
Yeah, 'cause they-
entirely had vanished.
How did
And we
it-
just went about our business.
out of the,
That's how we
I'm still
react.
here.
One of our,
now you're saying out of the business or just out of last
yes,
night?
he's no longer.
I have no idea.
He's gone.
It was a
He's been
vortex.
missing for over 48 hours.
So Mary Lynn is obviously well known. I don't know if you like to talk about it. Maybe a minute or two. It's up to you. What did you do? 5 or 6 seasons on 24?
All of them, right?
All of them?
I started in season 3. It went to season 9.
Oh.
Talk about it. How can I not talk about it? It's. I'm going to talk about it for the rest of my life.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Played computer genius Chloe O'Brien, who can save the world from a terrorist attack
Yes.
using only her computer.
You know, the last season that they had, it was only 6 episodes.
Live
That they-
Another
or-
Day, 12 episodes. We'll get there.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Well, anyhow, no, we'll get, oh yeah, I went right to the last episode, the last season,
Good for
the last
you.
season. But I watched 3 episodes, and now I can't find it anywhere. I've watched
Let
every
me get on
episode.
that for you.
Yeah, I love that he has her on the show to this is really what you want to get down to. Like, is it on demand? Or, I don't know.
How
Where's
do
it
I don't know how to find.
I'm willing to pay up to $2 an episode.
You
and
pay
that's-
me directly, I will find it for you because I make no money off of people rewatching the episode.
But do you still do like? As I know, like a few years ago, I went and saw you do a show, and you were talking about you went to the White House with the whole
yeah.
cast and stuff like that. And is there still stuff that gets? Do you still get like
I forgot
invited?
about that. No, I get invited nowhere.
Oh,
Any-
yes.
anytime.
You got invited
you know what?
to
but
this
that's part my own attitude as well. Because I was in, we were filming Live Another Day in London for 6 months, and it was very exciting. I got like dark hair and eyeliner. That has nothing to do
Yes.
with London, but my
We felt
family was
cool.
there most of the time, and we went. We did a side trip to Italy, and this is a totally tangential story and probably won't pan out.
What does tangential mean?
It's okay.
It has nothing to do with
That wasn't
24.
rich.
We were walking around the.
I asked it for Rich.
I'm walking around.
The fans don't know what tangential means. Like when you said Barker.
I did have a point when I started out. The point was I don't use my celebrity,
Chloe
even if I
came,
could.
Yeah.
So I was having a bad attitude, like I don't get invited to stuff. I probably could, but I don't have the personality. We were at the Vatican, and a guy came up to me and was like, I would have given you a personal tour. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just go and
I know exactly,
stand
'cause
in
it is
line,
weird.
and I'm like, this is what you do, right? Like, I've no...
But what if you, like, this is the thing, is it, what if you walked
no
up
game, is what
somewhere
I'm
and was
saying.
like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this face, and then if they didn't, they were still like, yeah, back to end of the line, then that's
Just
even
try
worse.
it. It's
Like,
like,
I'd rather-
I see what you're saying.
You know what I
You're
mean?
saying don't even try to do that at all.
I mean, I'm saying it's like,
a lot
I
of
can
the
see how
time,
that could be embarrassing.
I'll get, I know you from somewhere, and I've just taken to just right straight out like I'm an actress. No, that's always the classic. Or my favorite one recently was, you look like someone who might be on Parks and Rec. Like,
Yes.
not even an actual person,
Yes.
but the type of person who might
I feel
be
like
on a
if
show.
you
which is a
were
great-
in entertainment, this is where you would fit. That's fantastic.
So good.
So what's going on now? You're doing a lot of stand-up.
Doing a lot of stand-up. I'm doing a one-woman show. I'm about to take off for Edinburgh on
That's
Sunday.
right. How did that go?
Really great. Really good. I'm prepping doing a one-woman show here in prep for Edinburgh.
Is this your first time in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's really cool there.
It is?
Yeah, it's just, Scotland is cool. I did it one year, just a couple of shows, and they're smart people. You know what I mean?
good. I'm excited.
And their audiences, they listen. They don't laugh, but they enjoy you.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not kidding. I love Holland. I love Scotland. I had a better time in Holland and Scotland than I did in England, because I think there's less hatred towards America.
Oh, really?
In Holland and Scotland. So you're going to have a great time. I know it. You're going to have a great time there.
Thanks, buddy.
It's going to be a big hit.
Have you ever seen Marilyn perform, Chris? I'm trying to bring you in the
I haven't. No, I have not. I know who
She's
she
hilarious.
is, of course, but I
so
haven't.
genius, so funny. So I would love to know what your show is like. Is it? Because sometimes you do performance arty kind of stuff.
I'm very proud of myself because I'm speaking in full sentences now.
Yeah,
and
you're
I'm
doing great.
Yeah.
Your legs are crossed. You're
I'm
like,
real lady. No, I worked really hard on crafting the story that's from my life, and it starts with my husband not talking to me, and how do you have a relationship, and when you hate somebody and you love them. And
This show is called My Wife Hates Me.
I have a question. How long,
Thanks for having me.
How long are you married?
Well, my son just turned 8. We got married when he was a year old.
Yes.
But I got pregnant 3 months into knowing my now husband.
Okay.
I'm never going to let that one go either.
Right.
Because
I got you beat. I got my girlfriend pregnant 2 weeks into knowing her.
What up?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is your husband Puerto Rican?
I wish.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to try again.
Got a Puerto Rican.
No, he's super white from Indiana.
It's no fun.
I have a question for both
White
of
on
you.
white.
One, okay, for you first. Do you give your husband lectures nightly on what they could do better, what they could do better in their life to become a better, like stand at the end of the bed and lecture your husband, like
I let
this
him
is what
know
you.
where he can improve for the next day. Unfortunately,
For the next day?
you have no learning curve.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
All right, so
What's the example?
Groundhog
Have you
Day.
covered this at length already?
Last night, he went to dinner with his own drink. What kind of drink was it?
It's a Vital Water.
And then the guy came
was
up.
that
It's a
Vital-
nice place, and he goes, "You can't have the Vital Water." Rich goes, "I'm allergic to everything else." And the guy was like,
I like Vital Water, sugar free.
This is beyond advice for the next
Yes,
day.
yeah, this is like, I'm
you
trying
have
to make
issues
a
being in the
person.
world.
Yes.
Okay, well anyhow,
And
listen.
you deliberately are going against. Why go out to dinner if you're going to bring your own water?
I got Bonnie a present.
What?
I got Bonnie a present
Bonnie.
for.
Can
you open it?
This
is
is
gonna
so
be a joke
weird.
present? What's
No,
happening?
this is a real
Is this a real
present.
Who wrapped
It's
that
a-
for you?
I did.
Oh my God! Who
He's
got the
opening it
paper?
for
I
you.
don't understand.
I got Bonnie a present
You
because
guys love each other.
I think and hold on. This is.
That is the most wonderful thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's a painting of me lecturing Rich at the end of the night. It's very, very accurate. My arm looks a little short.
And Rich is wearing the exact same thing in that picture as he is right now. What are you, a cartoon character?
All the tattoos are perfect.
Oh, they're perfect.
Who did this?
That was
Who did
great.
this?
This guy Max Weber, when I was doing Skankfest, he sent pictures of Big J and all that,
Yeah.
and they looked exactly like him. I said, you got to make a picture of Bonnie giving me. And he just did it from pictures on the internet of us.
Oh,
and
my
he did
God. Genius.
It. Does it look good?
And it's
That's
actually
great.
exactly, this is so accurate.
That's the best.
real sense of
That's
drama.
got to be the new art for the show.
Real light and shade.
I think that'll replace the art. That should be it. That should be like the new thing.
Do you like this, Don?
That's great, man.
Nice.
The look on your face in that painting is the most priceless thing ever. You kind of look like that painting in Goodfellas.
amazing.
You look like the old guy, like without the beard. Like, oh, what do you want from me?
That's great.
Well, I mean, I think that's my job, honestly, is I'm supposed to be helping you get through life,
I don't know. I think it's biased towards Rich's point of view on there.
Yes,
because he's looking right, like, help me, I'm world weary. And you're not even looking at him. You're
you look
looking off.
you look like you're lecturing a ghost like in the corner.
But that is accurate too, because I get tired of looking at him.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. Just want to talk to his butt.
I'm probably talking about like the light that needs to be changed, and this has not been changed. You see it not working.
That's a great picture. Did you do that in Montreal?
What's that? No, it was sent to me. Yeah, I brought it to me. Max Weber. He's going to
You don't
send me
think
his
Rich
stuff.
did that, right?
No. It would be stick figures.
Yes. Rich has no creative ability.
Neither do I. I have zero creative ability.
That was
too.
great on the photo too. It's amazing.
32 years as a comic, but I have no creative ability.
I have nothing. I'm getting through this career with charm and muscles.
What's that?
I got nothing. Yeah.
Hey, so before you did 24, were you acting on anything else?
Oh my God,
Here we go.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
No, 24 was my first. Thank you for asking and being interested. I had only done comedy, lots of bit parts in sitcoms, movies. I was on
Larry
Larry Sanders
Sanders.
Show. I was on Mr. Show. Lots of sitcoms, and 24 was my first drama. So that kind of changed everything, because then from that point on, that show was so huge.
Yeah.
So when I go do comedy, it's an interesting
But
challenge.
was it? Yeah. So when you would go, when you were in the throes of the huge 24 being so
Yes.
huge, and you would go do stand up, would people come to see you as a comedian, or they would come and be like, "Oh, I just want to see Chloe."
I just want to see Chloe. There was a complete, because you know me from the 90s where I had, of course, I'm still in that mindset.
I was born in '92.
Well, when you were a
weird.
baby, you were super aware and smart. I remember I used to talk to you as an infant, and I could just see that you were there. You were so fully
No, that was
formed.
Rich.
Oh boy,
That was Rich last night.
Okay.
But yeah, people would buy their tickets to see Chloe, and I think a lot of them, even the other comedians, were like, your audience is different. It's like they've never been out of the house or in a comedy club, and they think they're watching TV, and I would go out thinking like, oh, I'm just going to, still with
Do my
low
stand-up,
self-esteem
yeah.
and do my stand-up. And then I realized like, this is a big deal. I'm a big, not only is it a big deal for them, I got to represent, otherwise I'll make them feel bad by my internal monologue, which is hating myself.
Right.
But I had to go out there and be like, hello, you may know me from, and then like break through it. And it was actually ended up being very gratifying because, depending on how jacked up they were on 24, I would do anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 minutes of like, hey, where's my Jack Bauers in the audience?
Yes, right.
Then
Okay.
I would go into my material, and it was really
You
fun.
used it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I've never been able to do. Is take a situation and.
Well, how can you do this radio
Well, you're
show
only
to
7
your
years
advantage?
old, so
I know it's really.
Well, I'm not comparing this to 24 in any way, but I'm just
Please
saying.
do. Please compare everything to 24.
No, when I did a reality show the first season, I'm not. This is not a. I'm just saying, last comic, but the audience that came was not a comedy. They were a reality show audience.
Right.
So they see you on TV on NBC, and then they come to the
By
theater
the way,
or club. And
this
you're-
is fascinating because Rich can take anything you say and he can make it about himself.
I'm trying to agree
This
with
goes
her.
to prove.
No, let me tell you something.
that
Fuck
he's
face. I'm
able
trying to agree
to-
with her. And
No,
say-
I know.
We're
yeah,
relating.
you-
We're relating.
no.
Hey, you were on that massive hit 24. I was on Last Comic Standing. 1.5 seasons.
Yeah, I have a web series.
I like watching him turn this into the A&E show, the Inside the Actor
Yes.
Studio. 10 seconds goes, jock itch. And then it's like,
itch.
when you studied method and then went from comedy to drama, Please tell me how that felt.
Listen, first of all,
What do you hope God says to you when you get into heaven?
no, you know what? When comics talk and all you do is try to relate to them, it's not a brag. It's obviously, I said before, it's not 24. 24 was massive. I watched every
Listen,
fucking
I'm
episode.
interested in where you're going with this, and I think you hear that from a lot of people. There really is no, or it's always looking for that perfect audience, and it's very rare that that person is like out there with their face doing their comedy, and that they're coming to relate in that way.
You know, Tough Crowd, when we did Tough Crowd, is that good enough? Is Tough Crowd
Tough
good
Crowd,
enough?
Colin Quinn, yeah.
Okay. That drew a comedy club audience because it was Tough Crowd on Comedy Central.
People who liked comedians.
Who love comics. All right? But when you get,
The audience wasn't barked.
What's that?
The audience wasn't barked then.
No, it was great. It was great.
Have you ever heard it
shows
said that way before?
that draw.
At a major festival.
And welcome back to the Opie Radio channel. It is E-Rock. There's some connection issues, I think, Lewis, with Montreal, with My Wife Hates Me, Vos and Bonnie, live from the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. We're still trying to get everything set back up. It's not on the New York end. It's all coming from Montreal. So as soon as we can get a signal, we'll put the show back on. But in the meantime, look, Rich gave us this ridiculous playlist of backup songs, which for some reason, if you tuned in, it sounded like, Dennis Falcone on Sunday Night at the 70s. But what do we have here that we haven't played yet? What's on that list?
That is Superfly. Curtis Mayfield?
All right, whatever. Play it. That mic there, my friend.
Yes, I believe he did.
I like how I said, you're going to be on that mic. You go, okay, you push it away, you take the mic that is not going to be on. Hey, it's E-Rock and Lewis here on the Opie Radio channel. Still no word from Montreal with the live My Wife Hates Me with Vos and Bonnie. Quite a week we're having here on the Opie Radio channel. Yes. This should be broadcast, I think, on an 89.5 frequency. College music. I don't know what we're going to do here.
What are we getting into next?
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to throw it to a best of because we can't just keep playing Rich's pathetic playlist here. I mean, this stuff is old as dirt.
I agree.
Some of this stuff, even Dennis Falcone is just shaking his nose like, nah, that's not current. So what we're going to do is we're going to go throw it to a best of involving Rich and Bonnie in some way, shape, or form. And if we connect to Montreal again, we'll bring it right back. But until then, enjoy this.
The best of Opie and Jimmy.
Here's the thing with your stomach. Yes, I'm with you.
I don't know what it is. Like, once it hits me, it's hard to hold in.
Well, that's with everybody.
Is that a mean thought?
Did you?
It's interesting. It hits you doing a radio show though, because usually
I do this so much. Doug.
Do you ever have to take a shit while you're on stage? Does it hit you while you're doing your act?
I've taken shits on stage many times.
When you woke up this morning, did you go to the bathroom?
Just little droplets.
Oh, see, within.
I accidentally walked in on him wiping. It was awful.
Why?
Really bad.
Oh no! Why does he stand up on the toilet when he does it?
How does he wipe?
Puts his ass towards the door.
No,
it was looking.
How does he wipe? He sticks his ass out.
Looking all the way back, which you don't need to look.
I can't turn my body. I got to turn.
You look at the toilet paper, right?
Gosh.
No.
Always.
No.
That's when you know you're done. So you get that one wipe that's nice and clean. You're like, all right, I could go now.
No, I take a towel, a wet towel, and I clean my ass after I wipe.
I smell the toilet. Does not do that.
A wet towel? Like one that's going to get washed and reused?
Because
get baby wipes.
Because this is what it looks like when I go in there. This is a towel just sitting there.
Oh, my God.
Like that.
Oh, God.
Okay. She's got paper curled up like, let me say it like a fist. So you can he gets in there, yeah. She gets mad.
A towel fist.
And I see that laying around. I'm like, what?
Like the hotel maids.
She gets mad.
It's in the shape of a fist.
She gets mad when I take, after I'm done in my bathroom.
Do you really use a wet towel?
I take my
Please
old
don't
underwear.
tell people this because it's just horrible.
It's just horrible.
Go ahead.
I
This is
take
the
my
best
old
stuff,
underwear that I just took off, and I wipe off the counters on the sink and stuff in the mirror.
There's nothing wrong with that.
He uses his underwear to wipe down his...
fucking weird.
Yeah, your underwear that you wore for...
Yes, his dirty underwear now is wiping...
I do weird shit, but that one's a weird one.
That's why we have separate bathrooms.
Yeah. What if you have like a little action in your underwear?
I don't have that.
Never have action.
Never.
You never sweat? Your ass doesn't sweat at all?
Not everything is obvious. It might be some smells and some
you ever sit in something?
Invisible stuff.
No.
You wipe the counter with your used underwear?
Just on the... No, I don't turn it inside out.
I don't know. I mean, I use my...
He uses the clean side.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I clean his bathroom every year on his birthday because it is disgusting. It stinks so bad.
And I wash down her snatch once a year. With a power wash.
I mean, I use a sock to clean off the bowl after peeing.
I know,
so.
it doesn't, like, why? It's always my snatch.
Not always.
Yes.
Just once or twice. No, but just every time you need a big or smelly reference. No, her shit is nice.
Oh, stop, please. Really?
Smooth talker.
You're going to...
Damn, Ritz. Yeah.
That makes it sound like I'm some... Like, when I get in the car, I'm going to be like, you kept telling him my pussy stink.
You want to introduce everyone?
No, go ahead. George Wallace.
And Jeremy Gerlich
How are you guys?
joined us. He's a writer and a director that I met in the lobby of UTA. Right?
Yes. Is that true?
Yes.
You guys just hit it off? You chatted
it
up?
I went into the...
Some people network at bars. I network at the lobby.
He was standing in the lobby holding a coffee cup, like an actual coffee, not like this. It was an actual coffee cup. So I knew somebody. He was somebody because somebody went and got him an actual coffee. He didn't. He wasn't. You know.
See, I would have thought he was bringing someone coffee.
I always bring my own coffee cup, so it looks like I'm.
Where I was like, this guy is somebody. There was Mike White was in the conference room. Did you see that?
Yeah.
In the glass conference room, you can see it through the lobby, and he was pitching to all these suits. I guess he.
That's an intense conference. They have this conference room in the lobby of UTA. That's, I mean, you've been there, but like it's this
Just
giant
the
glass
time.
thing. And whenever I've been in that conference room, you can't focus because everything's going on and everyone's. It's almost like you're at the zoo.
I know, it was like right there, like, oh my God, that's Mike White. It was very strange.
Well, tell everybody.
Okay, so then Kate, our Canadian producer, started talking to you because she heard you had 4 kids, and then she was like, I have 4 kids.
She was pretty, like, I think she was the instigator of it.
Yeah, she I was
like,
too
hey, how are
nervous.
you? Who are you?
Well, because then you came over and you were talking to me, and it was too much, like, too cliched to me to be sitting in the UTA offices talking about, like, projects and stuff. But can you talk about the project that we talked about that day?
The one that we were working on? What
Yeah,
project
because
did you
I
work
think
on
that you sold that pitch for. Didn't you get the most money anyone's ever gotten for a pitch in Hollywood?
I don't know if it was ever. I got a lot of money for it. I sold a pitch called. The working title is Larry Poppins.
Larry Poppins.
And it's a musical about the idiot son of Mary Poppins, and it's Josh Gad is starring in it.
That's fantastic.
Who's an incredibly talented actor, singer he was Olaf from Frozen, and he was in Book of Mormon, and he was in the last movie I did called The Wedding Ringer.
Yes. But that movie, right? You wrote a while ago.
The Wedding Ringer.
The Wedding Ringer, and then it somehow came back, right?
Yeah. So when I was 22 years old, my writing partner and I at the time, Jay Lavender, we wrote this movie, The Wedding Ringer, about a professional best man.
And what was it called?
It was called The Golden Tux.
Right.
And 15 years later, it got.
15 years
later?
later?
I got a call. Do you want to direct this movie with Kevin Hart and Josh Gad? I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So there were a lot of things that. Oh, the croissants. They look so good.
Well, that's good. This is our radio producer bringing food while people are trying to have interviews.
I know it looks so good. I'll have it afterwards.
I'll eat it now.
There's a lot of alcohol last night.
Oh my God!
Free alcohol.
I know, it's like too much.
And I have 4 kids and don't drink that much, so the free alcohol.
Daddy's
and I'm
taking
away from my wife for the the weekend. What were we talking about? Lucky.
How did you? Okay, so had you directed a movie before this? The Wedding Ringer?
The Wedding Ringer was my first feature. I'd done some TV stuff.
It's so huge for your first thing.
Yeah,
Were you like freaked out?
I was not freaked out. I've kind of been in training for it for a long time. I worked for Joel Schumacher.
Oh, I've heard of him.
I was his assistant for. I did 4 movies as his assistant, and then directed second unit on a movie called Veronica Guerin with Cate Blanchett. So for those of you who don't know what second unit is, it's when you see like trucks going by and like shots of like hands typing on a keyboard.
We're gonna need some more keyboard shots.
So when you're competent in doing second unit stuff like that, Do you feel like you can do anything, or do you feel like it's still a whole new ball game? Do you know what I mean? Because so much stuff gets thrown at you that you have to figure out.
I think the second unit, I'd also done a can we curse on this?
Yeah.
Yes. I'd done a shitload of...
Not that word.
Yeah. Just anything, but...
I've done a fuckload of shorts and music videos, and I'd been doing it since I'm in high school, and, I felt... And I had about 3 or 4 movies that were almost there and then fell apart last minute.
So you were like ready to have something.
So you're able to concentrate on the story because you're already versed in shots and
I came in like
compositions.
I was super prepared. And I knew it was my first, it was my first big opportunity. So I was training for it. It was weird. I'm an athlete, and I always played. In playing sports, I prepared like it was the big game, and I actually I planned every shot, and I thought about it all, how everyone would say everything before we got
And you wrote it, so
cool.
Also that's like probably it was in your bones at that
but
point.
When you're, when you're working with a comic like Kevin Hart, are you worried that you're going to go off book and start ad-libbing through it? Or are you looking forward to that, or do you want that, or?
Yeah, it's for me. Just having someone. I wrote the movie for Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
So this was back in, after I saw Swingers.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like that guy. I want this guy to be the guy. Which is actually how
that would have worked out well too, I think.
Yeah, I actually met Vince by doing that, and then I wrote the breakup for Vince with Jay Lavender, and I was on the set of the breakup, and so I imagined Vince when I first wrote it, and then we're like, oh, it's Kevin Hart, and now everyone was like, oh, do you have to change? Do you have to like really change it because it's Kevin? And then I like read through the script, and I was like, all I did was the only change I made for Kevin was like the first line was like Jimmy Callahan, 30s, tall and handsome. I was just like Jimmy Callahan, 30s. Handsome. But Kevin, so to answer your question, I made sure that we got what was on the page, and we shot what was on the page, and then it was like, all right, guys, have fun. And some of the best stuff came from that just have fun. And I love to improv also. So like when we're in there, I'll be, so much of my writing is just improv. We're improving with them on set. And
how much percent did you use a lot of the improv, or did you go more with the script?
We used a lot of. So here's what happened. It's like when you're on set with guys like Kevin and Josh, and we had amazing comedians in. Like we had
You had a great supporting
cast of. I wanted only comedians, and we had great guys in there, awesome guys, huge futures.
Go ahead.
No. What was the question?
Oh no, I'll ask you after.
Were you going to ask why wasn't I one of them?
No.
I think it was like I didn't get an audition or anything.
Jeff Ross, by the way. Jeff,
all comedians, but I wasn't in it.
Nobody called me. Where was your
First of all,
I
was booked at a Funny Bone that weekend. I'm not going to cancel. All right. Here's what I worked on certain movies with certain people where he has comics sitting there doing punch. If they see something, they'll throw it. How about this line? Adam. I heard Adam Sandler uses comics on the set to help punch up. Right? Did you use any comics sitting there to
while we are on set?
While you're on set to sit there and punch up. And stuff?
Not really, because we had a really good script that we'd been working on for, we had done 1,000 drafts of the script. In addition, we had the funniest people in the world were in the room, so we're like on
go.
Yeah, it's just like, so Amy, for me, there was one scene in particular where I went up to Kevin, and it's basically just when they're introducing themselves and he's hiring him, and it was a boring line. It was like, what's my name, and did you make up a name for me? And Josh said something like, it's called Bick Mitchum. And Kevin's like, Bick Mitchum? It sounds like a gay superhero or something like that. I don't even remember the exact line. And it was like fine, funny, but I was like, you know what? I just went up to Kevin. I was like, let's play with this. Let's just have some fun. Let's play with this. Just maybe do some characters, like trying out the name, like Bick Mitchell. I'm Bick Mitchell. I was like, just play with it. And then literally like the next, I shit you not, like literally 45 minutes later, I yelled cut.
Oh my God.
Because it was truly between Kevin and Josh going, you could almost just watch that as a movie.
Yeah. Right.
And it was so incredible that I wanted to keep about 10, I kept on like cutting it down slightly because it just was funny without cutting.
Well, this is the thing when you get into the edit, then aren't you like? I mean,
my first cut was 3.5 hours. So
Yeah.
this is to get. I'm getting back to your original question. My first cut was 3.5 hours because I try to keep everything that was improv, everything was so funny in there because it just made you laugh. And then ultimately you're cutting, and then ultimately I pretty much ended up with what the script was.
Yeah.
Right.
and then except for there were a handful of gems that we kept, and then the rest of it's in the DVD extras. You know, so you get.
Well, that's the thing too, because isn't it like when you get into the edit and it's so funny but it starts to become like sand through your fingers, like because you got to keep that part to make that part work, and then now you've got like this, to make it really great. It's like a 5-minute, end of your scene. You got it right.
100%.
I'm trying to pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
Herself.
From one director to another, what I've found.
Sand through the fingers.
Yeah, I know.
Sand through the fingers.
What is this? The beginning of a soap opera?
What's going on here?
Jesus.
I don't know what's happening.
No, because like one top 5, which I thought was brilliant. Chris Rock. It's funny from beginning to end. And as I was sitting on the set doing Punch Up, I'm thinking to myself, well, he doesn't need Punch Up guys. But I got some. I'm just saying I do Punch Up.
Oh my God!
Anyhow,
and for your next movie, here's your dude.
Well, you got to start. I feel like that. Like it when you're on set and you're coming up with just amazing stuff. At the thing, you're there. You're making people laugh around you, but ultimately the development work and the heart of the Punch Up has to happen way before.
Well, I was
right.
sitting.
You've got to make a movie.
No, the movie's being filmed.
Write a movie.
No, when the movie's being filmed, but you might see something from a different angle. Anyhow, I'm on the set and I call Bonnie. No, you might see something.
Stop doing this because I know what you're doing. You're like, nobody talk while I'm talking.
No, I'm not
doing
that.
Nobody.
See what I mean? See, there it is, right there in the picture. That's her controlling me. What I'm saying, I was sitting.
We're not talking.
I was on the set. And I called Bonnie. I go, I'm sitting next to this guy, Scott Rudin. Who is he? Right? And she called back and goes, "You fucking asshole! He's the biggest producer in Hollywood." And I don't know these people, right? Yeah. And she said, "Look, get him my script."
Did you get him the script?
No. Are you kidding me? He barely.
He's
talked.
never helped me in his life.
Oh, really?
You've never helped her?
No. Are you kidding me?
It's getting sad.
Have you seen her the movie Women Aren't Funny?
Not yet, but I'm dying to.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it.
How many times have we heard that this weekend?
Oh, man.
It's no longer on Netflix.
It's on iTunes. This
Took it
movie,
off Netflix.
first movie.
It's no longer on Netflix?
We went through our
2 years.
2-year thing.
Oh,
and
really?
But it's still on iTunes.
Okay, I'll download
Bonnie
it.
directed this movie. Had 60 to 70 hours of film, turned it into an 80-minute, nonstop laughing comedy
It
documentary.
should be 50 minutes, but we needed.
No, I'm telling you, it's so fucking. I mean, I produce and star, but what I'm saying is, it's nonstop laughter. If you love everybody's in it.
If you love comedy.
No, Joan Rivers, Chris Rock, Wanda, Sarah, Paul Mooney. I can go. The list goes on. Rita Runner, Rosie. Everybody's in this movie. What's her name that didn't show up now?
He wanted. I said, your credit is going to be a producer credit. And he goes, I did the casting. I should have casting credit. And I was like, I think a producer credit is better. He's like, he really tried to fight for it to get casting by.
Did he get casting by?
No. I didn't give it to him.
I mean, because
he really was like I talked to Rosie O'Donnell, and then she said she was like, "I'm going to do it because your husband's one of the good ones," which I still don't know who she thought you were. I think she.
But we were lucky, once you get we got the first star. Well, first we got Artie Lang first. So then when
You know,
we got,
you know what we do? I just realized we invite, important people on, and then we just tell them about us.
it goes back and forth. It goes back and forth.
Here's another thing that we do. We just have them cornered,
How
and
long
they can't get away.
How long have you guys been married?
Huh?
How long have you guys been married?
Tell them.
This is our 10th and final year.
That's the 100th and final time she'll do that joke.
I keep having to go, is it 11 now? It's our 11th and final year.
Is it 11 years? 10 years?
It's we have not celebrated our 11th wedding anniversary
September
yet.
11th?
September 17th.
Oh,
17th.
September 11th. It seems like September 11th.
My God, Rich! I know that was the day of a disaster. I'm not sure which one.
I was thinking of roast battle the other night.
Oh my God.
The roast battle was pretty funny.
Do you went last night?
I went last night. I went both nights. Yeah.
Last night I thought was great.
I didn't have a good seat last night. I was upstairs. I couldn't get.
We did.
You should have came. I would have got you.
You know what? It was. I have a really small bladder, so I hate sitting somewhere where I have to get up. So
Is that right?
Yeah.
I do too.
You do also.
Always get a clean seat so you can get out.
I have a hard time. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I always feel embarrassed that
I've got one lung that's a little immature.
That's funny. That's funny because once a month on the show we do bladder talk.
We do.
Is today that?
Yes.
That's today.
Yay, bladder talk.
I thought last night.
How's your bladder?
I gotta go right now.
I
I'll tell you that
know.
much.
She snuck out last night.
I
we were going to go to
did.
the bathroom.
I saw from the monitor.
Yeah, and then
I got so
and then they
angry.
made us go back. They were like, no, and then I saw her run, and I was like stuck.
Ooh,
I
I did it. I can go real fast, and I can get there. I had to go to the other side of that whole big place. And the woman downstairs told me to go up there.
Yes,
and then I got stopped by the security.
Yeah,
He
you were
wasn't
on
going to let
TV
me
the
back
whole
to my
time.
seat. I was on TV.
The whole time. Yeah.
Ooh, I almost beat up that security guy. He's like, you can't be up here. Next time. Because there is no next time. I already went to let me back to my
But
seat.
then you
He's lecturing
did
me.
some moves as Chloe.
I typed right on his face on a fake computer and got past him.
The second I sat down 2 nights ago, I knew I had to go to the bathroom, and I knew I couldn't
The
make
second
it.
I sat down.
The
You were right
second-
behind.
behind Jeff and Kevin.
This is refreshing. I've never heard men talk about having to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I go, especially when I do TV. I got to go like.
Flow.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I do. I can't stop when I have something.
Do we
like
have a
show.
bathroom break here, by the way, in between
No break.
a
I thought we-
15-minute podcast?
I
We have
thought- this is a radio show, not a podcast.
Yeah, the radio show. I'm
Behind
sorry.
you. Yeah.
Okay, this is big. This goes.
There's a
this
cup
is-
behind you. There's a cup back here.
We have about 30 minutes left
No, we're good. We can make it.
on the show.
Can we make it?
This is going by so. It's unbelievable. We have 3 great
I
guests.
feel like it's the slowest thing that's ever happened to me. Wait, do you enjoy doing radio?
I love doing radio. Of course, I did radio for many years. And
What, you had your own show? You hosted?
Yeah, George Wallace, WGCI in Chicago.
Oh,
number one, and I was with Tom Jones Morning Show, syndicated in 100 markets across America. So yeah, I love doing radio.
And then you had guests though that would come on, or
of
what
course,
was the
just
thing?
like we, of course, everybody would come on. From Prince to
How do you
name
think
it.
we're doing?
You guys suck.
Are we better than Prince? Are we better than Prince?
No, he doesn't talk much, you know.
Oh, I
He
thought you
didn't-
meant of another
Not
country.
anymore.
I thought you meant of
man.
You had Prince for real?
Yeah, we have a radio. It's number one radio show in Chicago. So anybody that come through would have to go be at the Broadway play or whatever, visiting Chicago. They'd have to come through. And then
Did
I
you
did
do
New
your
York
research
City.
on people?
I'm sorry.
Did you do research on people?
Of course, I had to do a research, and I was in New York City at it was called Kiss FM before.
Yeah, I know.
Now it's called WBLS. You know, they merged. So yeah, I did a lot of radio. I love radio. This is great because you can curse on here. I don't curse. You know, I'm a clean comic, right?
Yes,
But
yeah.
I can curse. Man, I'm good at cursing. I'm fucking good. You know? Yeah.
Seemed a little.
And I'm starting to say
clunky.
it's time to cuss. It's time for me to start.
Well,
cussing.
Hamburger never
time.
cursed.
Hey, is that right?
Yeah.
I know that comedian.
Yeah,
Hamburger,
he would go hamburger instead of cursing.
Well, you know, and Jerry doesn't curse, you know, so he never says a bad word on stage.
Seinfeld?
Right.
No.
Right. And he
Well,
doesn't.
you
He
know,
doesn't like people that do.
There
I
are
don't know why.
comedians and they do so well. The
Funny is
comedians
funny.
that
It doesn't
don't-
matter
right,
whether you curse
right,
or what. It's funny
right,
is funny.
Right.
Nobody did it better than Richard Pryor.
Right.
Funny is funny. That's
Right.
what I think.
Agreed.
What comics do you look up to Pryor? I mean, who?
Joel Osteen.
You got to.
You know what I look up
Bernie
to?
Mac.
You know what I look up to? I'm listening to Bernie Mac right now,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm thinking, this guy's really good if you look at his clips. And I'm thinking, he might be just as good as Richard Pryor. And in his own way with the facial gestures and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the way he talk, Don't tell me what the fuck to do. I love him. I love this guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, Joel Osteen is my second favorite.
Yes,
comedian.
your second
and
favorite
then
movie is Joel Osteen.
Muhammad Ali, my third.
He goes out of the box. with his
Did you see
choices.
the life of Muhammad Ali? What a great, and when he was talking to these people years ago and making people laugh and just wonderful. This guy was a great. Every time you would see him on TV, he was just commanding. You just love him, compelling to listen to. Just great.
Did you ever meet him?
Yes, I did. I have photos of being with him, everything. I'm the luckiest person in the world, dude. I went to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. I sat in President Clinton's chair in the White House. I went to Robben Island. I went to Robben Island in South Africa where Nelson Mandela was incarcerated.
Did you meet president? Have you met presidents or?
What's the president now? The black guy? He came to my show in Las
Morgan
Vegas.
Freeman.
President Barack Obama's come to my show in Las Vegas. I've met a lot of people. I'm the most blessed person in the
Were
world.
you nervous when he was in the audience?
No. Well, he just came by for a brief minute, He
Yeah,
came by.
most people do. But what? So, and he came backstage.
Well, we were just. It was a lot of people there. So he came up and he was with me for more than anybody else. They shaking hands, going back and forth, and we were doing jokes. Oh, you look! He said to me, "You look a lot younger since the last time I saw you." And I said to him, "Well, I wish I could say the same thing about you." He did that joke on TV last night. Yeah,
Oh.
so 2 nights ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's great to have met him and Bill Clinton. So I've done very well.
And you've been to the White House.
I have.
Did you meet a president when you were there?
No, we waited around. It was George Bush, and it's when
You
it's
couldn't
the
get the
president,
door
he
open.
might
Yeah.
stop by, and then he didn't.
Did you steal anything? If you go to the White House, would you take something?
We went to the White House. We had a tour of the West Wing.
Did you? You had a tour
of the West Wing.
I leave things. I don't steal
Yes.
things. I left
I left my
bodily.
I left some soap.
So you guys have been to the White. You've been
I
to
left a
City
towel.
Hall.
I'm the only person on this panel who's not been to the White House.
You haven't been to the White House yet?
I've not.
You're going.
I've been to the White House when I was like in 8th grade on a tour.
They used to
walk
do that,
around,
didn't they?
yeah.
They used to do. They take older kids around. They don't do that anymore, do they?
I don't know. I didn't go to
Because these
school.
kids are really bad now. They go in the White House and they'll screw it up. They'll do something.
They'll take it. They'll
But I
Instagram
stole
themselves
souvenirs.
peeing on the wall or
I
something.
stole like napkins and I stole like the sweet and low with the presidential seal. I took that stuff and I was just taking things. I was thinking in my head, he didn't pay for shit in here. I paid for all of this. I paid for all of this, and I'm taking it.
Taxpayers' money.
By the way,
sterling silver spoon. I said, "Gotta go." Then I had to go through security. Going out, I went, "Oh shit." Because I go back through the metal detectors. And then I was still in civil.
Do you think Obama's going to do the same thing when he's leaving? It's like, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to take this.
Hillary did the first time. Didn't they take furniture when they left one time and silverware and things like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They took a bathtub.
Yeah, take this piece of artwork.
Yeah, he should do that.
Well, there's like $1 million Peter Max paintings in the West Wing. I mean, there's unbelievable. Why are you laughing at me?
Don is it.
Which is the West Wing? We just went into
The West Wing is where the Oval Office is.
That's where we were. We were in the Oval
Yeah,
Office.
because
and
you
that
can't
front-
get into
yeah.
the West. I knew a CIA agent that got us into the West Wing. Which, if you even want to tour as a regular person, you got to go through like all this, politics
the
at
paperwork,
home.
yeah,
and,
sure.
And so we got a tour. Our daughter was small. We got to go in the situation room. No, not that room. We got to go in the
room
the
that's
press
just
room.
right- yeah,
the press room. Okay. What I just do this because I'm very animated. Do you really want to try to embarrass me in front of my friend?
I don't need to do anything.
You guys are married, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, it's not a joke, George.
George,
Real.
my wife was a private chef, and she filled in for her friend one weekend at Jerry Seinfeld's house.
Okay.
And cooked for a group of people, and you were one of the people, and she came back and she said that you were the nicest, sweetest guy in the world, and that like you were talking to her the whole time and you couldn't have been nicer.
Did you hit on her?
No, what I like to do, see, a lot of people, they go to parties and then the chefs and people there. I like to say hello to those people, you know. And Gerald said, "Why are you always talking to those people?" Because they're nice people. They want, you know, they appreciate if somebody say hello and thank you. And you tell your wife.
She was very appreciative, and she had only the best things to say about you.
Well, that's good.
How was the food?
That's why you got to be nice.
The
because
food was terrible. She's no longer a chef.
we only hired her one time. But yeah, you got to be nice. I'm glad. Thank you. Tell her I said hello.
Yeah,
thank
I
you
will.
so much.
Yeah, she was very great.
When you're working on a TV set or something, don't you always talk to the blue collar, the guys in?
I talk to everybody. That's
Yeah.
my nature, just to talk and say hello to everybody. I don't care who you are. Good morning, everybody. Everybody. on
How'd
the
you get
set.
so friendly? I'm like the opposite.
Are you? I love people, and that's what I do for a living. They pay my rent, and I just love people.
You don't own?
Sorry?
You don't own?
I do own everything, but I mean, that's just an expression. They pay my rent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been doing comedy for 40 years. I own a lot of shit.
I know. You're
Yes.
George Wallace.
Yes, and don't you forget it.
Nobody will.
Do you ever do shows with Seinfeld?
Did I do? Yeah,
You
I
ever
just
still
did
do 'em?
Comedian Cars and Coffee. We just did a Scandinavian tour over in the O2 Center in London and Oslo, Norway, and Sweden, places like that. Yeah, we do some work together. Not too much because I really shouldn't be in front of him. You know, we've been best friends for 4 years. I'm a high energy act, and he can't follow me.
No, I know.
See?
That's so. But when you started, that was all back at Catch a Rising Star days,
Yeah, sure,
right?
yeah.
Back then, you know. I mean,
I waited in line like you did on a Monday.
Did you?
Yes, of course. I started in 1976, and you must have been a year behind me.
No, I was
80?
I was like 81 or something.
And you were still waiting in line at that time.
No, I only waited on line once. I did that. I bombed so bad, and then I figured out another route. Okay,
and you got it.
Yeah, and somehow I said it's not going to be Catch a Rising Star, obviously, because I'm not ready. You know.
Did he ever give a shot at stand-up?
You ever do stand up?
Never.
Never thought
so
about
scared.
it?
You guys are so incredibly brave. I could never do it.
Is it
I
bravery?
wanted to. It's a secret. It's a secret
sure.
passion, and I've been writing for years.
Really?
And I just give my stuff to my comedian friends.
Yes.
And
That's cool.
I'll go to a lot of comedy shows and just
watch.
For me, I mean, the movie I wrote when I was 22, and it took, 15, 16 years to see people laugh. So for me to go to a comedy club and see somebody get up and then after they come down, I'm like, oh, what if you did this?
Yes.
And then they go up on, they go from the store to the, to the Laugh Factory or whatever, and they try it there and it kills, and I'm like,
you feel good,
it's so
right?
amazing.
You feel good.
Right.
That's
It's
cool.
my favorite thing.
You
in the
need to
world
come
do.
to all of my shows.
I would love to.
What about this?
Let me know when we're going to Oslo. I'm there. I got 4 kids. I'll go anywhere.
Oh, I bet, huh?
Well,
That's
I do
good.
feel like
And my wife will cook. My wife can come cook.
But you're doing what? There's a guy in town, Blake Griffin.
Yes.
He's on stage.
It's
at
amazing.
midnight.
It's
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
And I watched him work. He's wonderful. And I just think that's great. That's a passion, especially if you love comedy. And he already has millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm thinking one day he's going to quit basketball and do stand-up.
Is he the tallest stand-up in history, do you think?
Tallest? That's true. He's taller than Brad Garrett. Yes, you're right.
Is he? Yeah, he's got to be taller than Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett's room in Vegas is the best comedy club room in Vegas.
I'd have to say that.
It's hands down the best. And I'm there in February. But is he doing comedy? Is that what he wants to do? Or do they just bring him up here?
No, he's up here to do comedy. Every night there's a midnight show. And he's the host.
So many people, from different,
You got to go pee?
Ex-porn stars, strippers, wrestlers. Everybody goes, I'm going to get into comedy after, It's not the easiest thing in the world. They think because they have performed in front of people doing whatever they do, they can do stand-up. Stand-up takes years. You got the psychology just to look at an audience and know where you can go with them, what joke you're going to follow with what joke. And plus you have to
just
see
commanding
everything's going on in the room. You're almost like profiling, as you know what I mean.
That's why it's the toughest job in show business. You got to command the room. You got to do the jokes. You got to control the room also.
It's everything. Your security, your create everything. And they go, well, I did this. I can do comedy. It sometimes it drives me crazy, And certain places will hire, whatever.
You're getting too inside comedy right now.
Well, I think there's when you're a comedian, sometimes people think, oh, I can go do that without honing your craft. And I mean, you guys have spent years.
Well, that is
getting
kind of the
shit
paradox
on.
of it, is that if you're great, you make it look so easy that anyone can do it. You know, if you're shitty, nobody wants to do it. Then we're like, oh god,
But
that's
even the
terrible.
best. I mean, even the best of the best. I mean, I'm sure when you were starting out, there were times where you had shitty rooms and like people, and you felt bad.
I had a shitty room last night.
but you know, like for you, when you get used to that after a while, like I think if I would go up there one time and not make anybody laugh, I would like come off, start crying, never want to do it again.
You get used to it.
But like if you get desensitized to that, and that's part of honing the craft and just working.
Of course, I was on stage to Catch a Rising Star one night, and the guy said, "Dude, you suck." I said, "Oh God, you should have been here last night. I really suck." So you get used to it, and we're honing the rest of our lives. We continue to hone every day with jokes.
Well, that's what I think too. When the audience sees a comedian not doing well, they get so uncomfortable for the comedian, and it's like the comedian doesn't give a shit. You know, the comedian doesn't care. They've been in this situation many times. You know,
the ones that are.
I feel like it's more uncomfortable for the audience than for the comedian, because sometimes you'll see a comedian on stage start to bomb, and he'll just take it right down.
Yeah, Larry David used to do that, right?
Yeah.
He'd just walk off the stage.
Did you do like the one-nighters like Freddy's for Jerry Stanley and Palazzo? And
I didn't do a lot of those, but I worked out in Jersey. Yeah,
in Jersey,
what was that club? The Orange Jersey, something like that.
Rascals.
Rascals.
In
Yeah,
West
I did a
Orange.
few of those clubs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rascals was probably. Did you? At the Manor,
Plateaus, Pleasantdale Chateau Manor, whatever. it
yeah.
is.
But Rascals was like one
club,
of the
yeah.
best comedy clubs in the country.
Right.
I
at
mean,
the time.
everybody worked Rascals.
Sure.
And then they opened the one in down the
Ocean.
shore,
Mhm.
Ocean. So you were doing clubs like that. You didn't do really the.
Well, I never wanted to be an overnight superstar or anything like television. I just wanted to be a comedian.
Yes.
So when I'm on the road, I opened for Natalie Cole and Diana Ross and George Benson and Tom Jones for 5 years, Diana Ross. That's all I ever wanted to do was stand up. And I'm living my dream. And I went to Vegas like for 30 days and wound up there for 10 years. And I've done very well. That's why I tell everybody I'm probably the most successful comedian you've ever met. It's not how much money you make. It's how you enjoy your life while you're living. And I still work every night. I work every day, any day I want
Well,
to.
see, my theory in comedy, and I tell this to everybody, I'm a comic. People go, well, do you want to do a sitcom? Do you want to act? I go, I'm a comic.
do.
Everything else is a bonus.
Right.
If I get to go on stage and work and do comedy, then I'm doing what I dream
Well,
to
the
do.
best thing, after I did Letterman the first time, nothing happened for me career-wise except that I could go into like these open mics or these new comic shows, and they would just put me on. I wouldn't have to sign up or anything, and it was like it literally was the best door that opened for me. It was like it feels so good if you walk in somewhere and people go, "Hey, you want to go on?" It's like, to me, that's better than being.
We still go to open mics on Wednesday because we're the biggest acts at the open mics.
Well, it doesn't matter. You just want to get on stage and you just want to work.
Yeah, I love. On my first honeymoon, I booked a weekend.
What do you mean your first honeymoon? This is not your wife, your first wife?
No, it's my second.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be another one after this.
My first honeymoon, I was in San
He's not done yet.
I was in San Francisco, and I did a weekend at the Holy City Zoo in San Francisco.
That's how much we love doing comedy. I'll go out and do a gig. You ever do a corporate gig? I've done a corporate gig for, let's just say, $100,000. Can't wait to get off that stage to go to a comedy club to do a free show.
Yes, right. I know.
Yeah, I do.
Right?
Yes. Where do you get $100,000?
Oh my God! I know we're all acting like we can relate. Yes, that's happened.
You're talking my last year.
Shut up. That's what happens when you can do it clean. The corporate people.
Yeah, but anybody, if you've been doing it 30-some years, you can do cleaner. If you can't adapt.
Some people still have a problem with it. They don't want you to slip on one word. Some people have a problem with it.
Well, they're fucking idiots.
Oh, we have a Bennington.
See,
Bennington coming in.
Oh.
So we have to get a chair.
Well, no, I can get up and leave. You can take this. We can move out.
Who wants to go?
I do. You guys go to the ladies' room.
I love you guys. Everybody leaves. And we're all leaving.
Well, a big hand for George Wallace.
George Wallace, thank you so much. You're the best.
And you were great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're truly the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sit down. Yeah. Wait, staying there?
Yeah.
Oh. Chloe's
invited this croissant.
We got how much? What do we got? 15 more minutes?
20. We're hard out at 150.
Are we live now? Or
We're
are we
still going.
Oh,
yes.
well, come on.
It seems like a break, but it's not a break.
So I just asked for a plain croissant.
Yes. Yes.
Folks.
I mean, I'm not having carbs. If my wife is listening,
Are you on a no carb
can I have
thing?
an egg white omelet?
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Rich.
How are you, Jeremy Garrett?
Jeremy,
Such a
Ron
pleasure.
Bennington, how are you?
Jeremy's a big-time movie writer, director, and you're a big-time everything.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Did I just knock George Wallace off your show?
Oh,
He's
yeah, but
insane
we
to
were
me.
looking to get rid of him.
Oh, I had no idea.
We were like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this guy.
How
with
good
his
is he, though?
$100,000 stories.
Too much diversity on this panel.
He was great, man.
Did Mary Lynn just take off?
She went to the bathroom.
Oh.
She went to go pee.
She's like, I'm out of here. I see a chance to leave.
So
these croissants, these carb-free croissants. Are so good.
Is this your first? This isn't your first
You're in
time
Montreal. You have to eat
No.
this summer.
Huh?
No, I was here last year.
Now, you did it on mass.
Yeah, I did it on Mass last year.
And you're doing one today?
I'm doing one today and one tomorrow.
Who are you doing today?
Today is the legendary manager.
Barry Katz.
Producer Barry Katz.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So we're going to
Oh,
hear a lot
God.
of Bonnie stories.
There's going to be some stories in
Are
there.
you a guy who that loves him, or?
I actually do love Barry Katz in terms of what a character.
Right.
What a character. But I don't know that I appreciate everything he's ever done for me.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's done some shady shit.
Now, how does that happen? And it happens to everybody. You know.
What do you mean? To him or from every?
Yeah, I mean, just being in this business, shady shit happens sooner or later, right?
Yes.
I think being in any business, shady shit.
Especially this business
Right.
because it's so built on like spinning things, you
and
know.
trust.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would anybody trust anyone, right?
Well, because you build up friendships. I don't know so much. There's so many different variables. You know, numbers. Managers. Someone can help me better. I leave them. Or I drop him for her. You know what I mean? So it's so unstable. It's such an unstable, business on a daily basis with all this shit going on around you that you have to deal with the industry and the business. You also have to create.
Right.
You have to create on top of that, which takes precedent over everything. So if you're lucky enough
Does
to find...
anybody still know what he's talking about?
Yes, he does.
No, here's what he's talking about. He's talking about heaven, hell, God, the devil. Seriously, I stayed up a lot of late nights doing coke, so I understand these kind of
yes,
conversations.
it gets very...
They could go on forever. Only
very
we'd be
esoteric.
leaning closer and closer to each other. While he's talking, I'm like, I know, man. Fucking crazy.
I don't know what's happening in this festival, but you know our relationship. I hate him a lot, and I think I've started falling in love with him at this festival because he's happy. He's never like this. He's killing it in the elevators.
Right.
He's been really doing some fantastic work, some elevator work. You love that kind of audience because they can't get out. You just
I had 3 good sets in the elevator, and also, listen, when you see people you haven't seen in years and comics and
but you love because you love the art of the hangout. You love just. You shit on everyone, they laugh, it's like, you can't do that all the time, and it's like it fuels you.
It was great.
It gives you wings.
There was 3 black comics sitting there, and I went, and they called me over, and I go, I can't. I'm white comic time right now. And they got, comics get everything.
Right.
If you work at Apple, you can't say that.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm not talking to the blacks right now.
Yes.
In 20,
the thing is, I saw him at the elevator bank. He wouldn't get in the middle. He goes, "No, I'm on the last elevator, or I'm leaving. I'm not going to do it. I gotta close.
I will not open. I will not middle." Yeah.
And the show, and you're seeing people you haven't seen in years, and like I said, young comics, old comics, and you're at shows, and those roast battles are fun to go to. And and then,
but you also love making yourself known. Like, I'm Rich Voss.
Well,
like,
I don't
if I
have to-
try to get in places as Bonnie McFarlane, it never works. Like, I've started just being like, I'm married to Rich Voss, and then I can get in and do stuff. You know,
Does that work?
Rich Ross.
it actually, like at the Comedy Store when I was there, I was like trying to, people never recognize me or know me or whatever, and then I was like, I'm married to Rich Voss, and then it was like, oh, it's like doors open. I was backstage. I was in a private bar. I was like,
No, I mean, I got you seats behind the
Right,
judges
you got-
last night.
I would have never walked in to ask for that. Rich
You
was
got
like-
me seats
Rich goes,
behind
you
the
got to
judges?
sit.
No, I didn't get you seats.
He goes,
I got it for myself.
No, but what do you
They
need-
recognized me.
What do you need tonight?
And everybody made fun of me up in the green room. What were you doing as an extra behind the judges?
Oh no, he goes, you got to sit in this seat because you're going to get a lot of FaceTime on the show. And I was
Well-
like, what are you talking about? Next thing I know, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't know
It
what's
was a
happening.
fun seat.
It was
It is
good.
a fun seat because you're right there. But, they
It's
said
a mess here.
Well, they said to me, do you want to sit back there again? I go, I'm not going to be an audience member 2 nights in a row on TV. They're going to go, what happened to Voss? Why is he just in the audience every night?
Just get a cutout. Just get a cutout of yourself.
He's
Put
his
it up.
own Barry
A
Katz.
judge consultant. You're a judge
Yeah.
consultant.
Yes. Oh,
That's
that's
true.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have just whispered every once in a while
Yeah,
into the
just lean
judge's
in.
ears. Like,
I wanted to give a few jokes to Whoopi. I'll be honest with you.
that would have been her first.
Yes, she was struggling. To say
Have
the
you
least.
seen the roast battle? You didn't.
No.
You didn't go. But you're doing.
The Comedy 101, which you and Bonnie have done, and that thing is the most brutal, funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Explain to these guys.
It's basically a roast meets an open mic. So the open mic comics come out, and then we have these 3 New York comics sitting there. And at any time, the judges, or mentors as we call them, can hit a bell, they stop their act, and then they assist them. So Rich is assisting people who've just been starting comedy, and it's goddamn hilarious.
Well, Bonnie, the last one we did was Bonnie and Bobby Kelly, but a comic came. Now we have bells that you can ring when you, like you said, when you ring the bell, they stop. So there was a comic that came out, and he had brain damage, which was there's a fine line. There's a fine line
Jeremy.
on
That
what
you ignored.
that you could say to somebody with brain damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there would be a
He
fine
was
Like
a
it's also-
lawyer.
he was a
Let me
lawyer.
Say this. He was like,
So
he had trouble speaking but not thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
So so at the end of the show, they all came out and gave a little. So this guy comes out at the end, brain damage still, and he's talking about vets and the war and helping people.
He's saying if
and
I can
dealing-
do this
and in the middle of this heartwarming speech, Bonnie hits the bell.
It was the
I
funniest.
had enough.
But did you?
I don't like
notice
empowerment.
on the Twitter response? It was like 9-1 Bonnie. People being in what the Bonnie said, as opposed to everybody else. That thing fit your personality so well. And your
That's just like a
style
horror
of
movie
comedy.
person.
Yeah, because it was like watching TV at your house. Like
Yes,
we would sit there,
yes.
Yeah.
and the horrible things that you would say to a TV actually happened.
Yeah. Well, I always kind of wanted to know this because we were told that they knew what the show was and what was coming, so I didn't feel bad about being mean. But later, like that girl and some of the performers said that they didn't know that's what it was.
Well, then how
and then
can
it felt
after-
really mean to be doing that.
Was that
After the
brain damage
first
one?
The brain damaged one did not get
I
it.
didn't know. I didn't know I was going to get made fun of.
He was
I
told,
brain
but he
damaged.
forgot. That was the thing.
But after the first comic,
Right.
wouldn't the rest know what's going to happen? Are they that clueless? Hey, wait a second. He just got eaten up by wolves. Could that happen to me?
I had a bunch of those people on, and the brain damage guy said it was the best night of his life. And he said he felt like he was hanging out with you guys. You got to understand, it's so hard to break into New York comedy, right? Before you can even get near the cellar, it takes these guys 7-10 years now. So this, believe it or not, Robert Kelly, Rich Voss, and these guys are like heroes to these dudes. So they loved it. Even if they took it harsh that night, they thought they were dishing back. Well, it was terrible.
The one girl we were so mean to the one girl. Not super mean. She had fake breasts. And that was
Did
her
she?
claim to fame. Yeah,
Like,
she
how
had
do you
it.
know that?
She said it up there.
Oh.
And how do I know it?
Well, later on in the green room, I checked it out when I.
Well, you know, I'm Rich Voss. So anyhow, Bobby and I, and Bonnie was basically nice to her. And then she came back and attacked Bonnie.
Yes.
Like girl on girl crime when
Yes.
Bonnie was the nicest. And then on Twitter she went after it. But whatever. We fixed it all and blocked her.
I know, and she felt like she was chumming around with you guys on Twitter. She thought she was being friendly. Like
By saying who did Bonnie fuck to get here?
Yes, she thought that
Friendly.
was the game. She thought that was the gimmick.
She wasn't too far off. I'm Rich Voss's wife. Jockitch. He was in
They don't know you.
the drugstore, and I was in a different aisle than him, and I could hear him saying to the lady, Jockitch. And then it was like he's got a bit of a lisp on it, and she didn't understand because she's French, so his way to get over it was just to repeat it 100 times. Jockitch, and then he'd swallow. Jockitch. I was like, oh my God.
It is.
That's all. I was even
It's
pointing
tough for
to my balls. I was even pointing to my balls, and I'm going.
Oh my God. I said out loud, I was like picking out makeup, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Jockitch.
Did you get powder or something?
No, I want to
Cream.
I
They
like
couldn't
to
figure it
spray.
out.
They don't have it here.
I was like, there's really no
like
other
Tinactin?
name for it.
They had athlete's foot.
Yeah,
shit.
I do that.
Yeah, but then they didn't have
that on your balls? Oh, you put that on your balls?
I do. It's the same thing. So I use athletes. If they don't have.
Oh, you
This is
can
a
use the
refreshing
athlete's
conversation.
use
I've heard about
athlete's
men's
foot.
small bladders and just putting the foot powder on your
You
balls.
can use like tough acting, acting athlete's foot on your
Oh,
undercarriage.
oh, you can?
Marilyn, how often do you blow your husband? What would you say on a weekly
That's where we're
basis?
going from ballage. It's close.
Well,
You're right, it's
because
close.
last time I gave him a BJ, he had jockitch on. You should wipe it off.
So this is last night.
Wait,
you had jockitch on?
No, I can't
I don't
find
think
it.
I've ever seen
Last
it.
night was fine. We did different things last night.
Hello.
But it was hard because I kept going, jockitch. It's all right. My thing is I will blow him any time that he wants it because I just feel like it's just like another one of my like laundry, get my kid a juice.
I'm
blow
kind
my
of that way
husband.
too. I've never
Yeah.
seen known of my husband having jockitch. I'll be honest.
Yeah, he keeps that.
Never
you
known
don't-
it.
There's no humidity where you live?
He's kind of perfect in every way.
Oh my God.
You're in LA,
Sort of
right?
ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, it's good for
He's
jockeying.
like hairless. When he goes outside, he tans instantly. He's got no issues.
my
He
God.
sleeps silently.
Who you married
No
to, Johnny
snoring.
Winters?
I don't know what
I don't know
that
who that
reference.
is.
It was a reference, early 70s reference.
I like
I'm right
it.
with it.
I'm gonna go with yes, not knowing. I'll go with yes.
He brought a-
Just based on your cadence.
He was a gentleman
based
from
on
the
the tone of
70s
your
who
voice.
was tan, I guess.
It's like we're playing pyramid now. He doesn't tan
Johnny
well.
Winters.
He's no hair on his. So he's actually an albino. So,
3 minutes.
What? We got
Yeah.
3 minutes?
3 minutes.
well, we can't
Wrap
go
it
over
up.
here. We can't
We just
stay
got into
for
blowjobs?
Jockitch?
Yes.
Holy cow.
I tried. I was gonna
Bring
go
it-
there
bring it back
earlier, but
around.
you were, George Wallace was saying,
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere, but you were thinking
What?
about it earlier.
I was like,
do
really?
you blow your
Well,
husband, Mary Lynn?
No, I really want to know. My thing is always to find out how much couples fight. Like, is it just him and I, or is it like that?
Well, but see,
we
Fight
have a lot
about
of. We have a
blowjobs?
what?
Fight about blowjobs?
No, just
wait,
a big premise.
our
of my,
whole relationship
Hold
is
you ask
fighting
her
and
a
blowjobs.
question.
That's it. Sorry.
can you
a
let
big
her?
premise of my show that I'm doing right now is my husband not talking to me.
Oh, that's his motive.
He's funny. He's a weirdo, but he's also like a dude. He's the first guy that I've ever been with.
He's the Johnny Winters of husbands.
Exactly. Still
that's-
don't know who that is, but precisely on the nose.
Somebody Google
Edgar-
Johnny Winters.
All of the
Edgar
other guys I've
Winter's
dated were like
brother.
musicians, comedians.
Right,
which
terrible.
They're more
You
like
don't know who
girls.
Johnny Winters?
I don't.
Johnny Winters and White Trash, Rock and Roll Hoochie
Well, here's
Coo.
the problem.
Rock and
Well,
roll,
your husband's
hoochie
not
coo. I
in the
know that
business,
song.
is he? Is
No.
He? See, we're both comics.
Yes.
So we have to fight as husband and wife. Then we have to fight as comics.
Right.
Yes, we
Do you
double
know-
up.
we have a lot of
our fighting is like me talking and him like fucking. It just clams him up.
mine are lectures.
So yeah, it's shades of this, but I feel like you have a lot more verbal back and forth.
Well, no, I feel like he likes to ignore me at close range. Like he's codependent. He wants me around a lot, but he wants to have his back to me.
I got 30 years sober. Let's go
anyway.
with that, all right? 30
That's
years.
my husband.
that's another show.
The more I can like be around him and we just do nothing, that's when we have to be together for like 3 hours, and then he'll feel comfortable enough to like start talking, and everything else is like, where are you going? What are you doing? I'm like, talk to me. And it's just like very report, like, here's what's happening. See you later. All right. I do this
What
a lot.
about
Like,
emotional?
see you Monday. I'll do that type of shit.
I had Tinder dates I connected to faster than 3 hours. That's amazing. Takes 3 hours before your own husband.
Yeah,
We're
like
exhausted.
early on, I remember I would ask him something simple, like, "Do you want to do this?" And there's so much time. Everything's in his head. He's a poker player, so he won't. I'm like, in between answering, like, well, is it this, or are you thinking of that, or what is the? He's
But to
just,
be
he
fair,
takes his time.
they've only known each other 6 months.
Yeah.
Is he
We're getting
professional
there.
at poker on
We're getting there.
TV poker player?
No, he was for a while. He was going towards that, and then
He lost it all.
Radio.
he lost it all. No, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's hours and hours and hours for that one.
Really?
So he enjoys. Now he'll go and he'll just do it for enjoyment.
Tell him to shoot craps. It's more exciting.
He loves craps.
Fucking craps is the crack of gambling. It's so fucking.
See, we got to have you
Yes,
around.
I'm
You can
telling
get
you.
him going, get him
Crap.
talking, get him.
Craps
yeah,
is
except
the
poker. He's
crack
just
of
way up
gambling.
in the.
Right?
It is.
He's always got the poker face.
If gambling isn't a rough enough vice, you need the crack of
Okay,
gambling.
yeah, well, if you're going to gamble, shoot craps. A hot crap table, if it's hot, the head of the clan is high-fiving like Farrakhan when the table's hot. If it's cold, you're like cursing
A
you
great
mother.
visual, Richard. And on that note, everyone.
Let's do some quick plugs, and then we'll get out of here. Do you have anything you want to Twitter, Facebook plug?
Wait, when's your movie
Your
coming
movie.
out?
Well, the movie is probably not coming out it's a musical, so we have a lot of music to write. So we're gonna shoot.
Oh wow!
We're shooting in January. We'll come out Christmas of 2017.
Put it in your calendars,
yes.
folks. Christmas
Yes.
2017.
Ron, up here, anything you want to?
That's still pretty
You know,
fast.
I'm doing something with Bonnie. What is it? Creeps with Kids.
Creeps with Kids.
Creeps
Yes.
with Kids.
When
yes.
is that?
It's in August at the Underground.
That's going to be a fun show.
That's Bobby Kelly's producing it, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Robert Kelly.
Mr. Robert
Louis J. Gomez is on
Louis
it.
J. Gomez and Florentine,
Florentine and Bobby
who would
Kelly.
want to be Florentine's kid? I think that's where we're going to go with this.
Yes, these are all
It's going to
gonna,
be
like,
the
come
worst
down.
heavy metal family to be involved in.
That's good. Yeah. So, and up here, you're doing Unmasked today and tomorrow.
Today and
What
tomorrow.
time?
Who's tomorrow?
I'm going to check on who tomorrow is. Andy Kindler after he does his
fantastic.
year
That's-
lineup.
That's
yeah.
in an hour. And,
Yeah.
and Chloe,
Mary Lynn.
Mary Lynn, what? Why did I call her?
I'm famous for my
Chloe,
character on
isn't
television.
I'm so fucking sorry. Why did I say
It
that?
happens to me all the time.
But
'Cause you're
why did I
human.
say
But
that?
also, this is the first
I'm
time
not-
I've
I
ever
created
heard
a
him say
memorable
sorry.
character.
She's so good.
You know what the thing is? I'm kind of like starstruck with you. I
I
really
love
am.
it.
I
Let's
really
talk
am.
about it. I like that this is my plug, that you're starstruck by me. It's my favorite plug I've ever gotten.
This is fucking amazing. I call it. Mary
30
Lynn,
seconds.
It's powerful.
What do you got? Anything you want to?
I'll be in Edinburgh, Scotland. Pop
Oh,
on
yeah,
over.
go
Month
see
of October.
Marilyn's show.
I mean August. What's my name?
Go see-
Mary Lynn.
Go see
August.
Chloe at in Edinburgh.
Today, my CD 141 IQ pre-release on iTunes. My fourth CD, hands down, one of my 4 best CDs. 141 IQ. November the 5th CD will come out next week. Governors, thank you guys.
And
This
now my plug
fucking-
is I'm Rich
Is it
Foss's
still
wife.
called a CD?
And Bonnie will be in Somerville in a week or two. Thank you guys.
Thanks, you guys.
And
Thank you so much,
thank
Pat.
Kate, and a big hand for Kate and Don
Thank you, Kate.
Wickland. Thank you, Kate.
Don Wickland.
Thanks for.
La 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 la.